Chad Ricardo of the Ricardo Report. It's time to go inside the WCAC with WCAC insider Derrell Bouknight. D. The Washington Post presently has Gonzaga ranked #1 in their weekly rankings. They are coming off of a 3-1 run in the Les Schwab Invitational out in Oregon. Briefly break down that tournament for me. Which players stood out?
There were a few players that stood out. Miles Dredd, who's going to Penn State. Eddie Scott, who's committed to UPenn. And Terrence Williams, who participated and did very, very well. But the main guy who stood out is arguably the best player in the WCAC, Chris Likes. He's going to Miami. He made the all-tournament team. He had a great game against every opponent he faced. He participated in the dunk contest, was certainly a high-caliber player that everybody talked about on social media.
The top 6 teams in the WCAC have a combined record of 51-16. Which team has caught your eye thus far, and which player has stood out as well?
Riken has stood out the most. As of today, they're 9-3, 3-1 in the WCAC. DeMatha is right there behind Gonzaga in terms of rankings, and DJ Harvey is obviously their leader going to Notre Dame, but a guy DeMatha who stood out is Justin Moore, class of 2019, has a couple offers. I think he has Notre Dame and Xavier on the list.
All right, Moore, Harvey, Chris Likes, all certified studs. Are there any other under-the-radar players that the Ricardo Report should have our eye on?
Well, one guy that I really do like is Trey Wood from St.Johns. He's a guard. He has 3 offers, or at least 3 offers so far that I know of. St. Joseph's, Iowa, Penn State. I think he may have one more, but he's currently their leading scorer. He's a guy who can control the pace. He's their floor general. He's their quarterback, and he's a player who can be very exciting for St. John's and for the WCAC as a whole. And once the teams start to get into conference play, he's definitely an X factor who can turn the game around and spark his team with a number of different plays. He's a guy who's going to make a lot of noise. He's going to help Coach McAloon a lot. Then he's going to continue down that path.
WCAC insider Derrell Bouknight will check in with you next week.